Welcome to Careers and Cocktails. Today we are making my husband's favorite drink, a Bourbon Old Fashioned. So what we're using today is some Woodford Reserve Kentucky bourbon. We are going to use organic agave in the raw, organic agave nectar. And we will use the Angostura aromatic bitters. And we have a orange over here to garnish and a cherry as well. So the key to an old fashioned is actually only 3 ingredients. You need a spirit, you need a sweetener, which some people use sugar. We're going to use agave. And then you need bitters. So technically, you can have a tequila old fashioned or a gin old fashioned, but most people drink bourbon old fashions. So let's get started. I have my trusty ice ball that I will put in my lowball glass here, my Schwarzschild glass from Germany. My husband and I discovered the Schwarzschild line when we were traveling in Germany, and the shop owner of this wine store took a wine glass and banged it on one of the wine barrels they had because they claimed that their glassware is indestructible. We were hooked ever since. So, hence the lowball Schwarzschild glasses that we have in our cabinet. Now, we are going to take 2 ounces of bourbon. And like I said, we're using the Woodford Reserve. I don't know why I can't say that word. And we're going to do 2 ounces of bourbon. And we're going to pour it over my ice in my lowball glass. And then at the end, we're just going to mix it up in the glass to make sure all the ingredients are combined. So we have 2 ounces of bourbon. Next, we are going to use a 1/2 ounce of the agave nectar. And that's where the sugar comes in. And you can certainly use sugar. There's a lot of varieties of different sweeteners in old fashions, but my husband loves this agave nectar. And then we have 1 dash of bitters. 1 dash. And then I'm going to stir it up to make sure the sugar and everything in my glass is mixed. I'm stirring around my magic ice ball. You want to make sure everything is mixed so that all the flavors are blending. That looks pretty good. And then I am going to put a cherry in there and garnish it with an orange slice. So there we have our Bourbon Old Fashioned. Now let's try it. It looks beautiful. It's very caramely colored. It's fun with the cherry and the orange. That's delicious. But I forgot something. We have to put a little orange slice in there, and I've never done this before, so I'm just taking part of the orange peel, and it's spraying effervescence at me, and I'm going to twist it like I see the bartenders do, or the mixologists. I'm going to drop that in there, and that's going to add to the flavor a little bit as well. So we'll try it again. The ice ball is making my drink spill all over me. Lovely. See, I'm not an expert. I am a cocktail enthusiast, wine enthusiast, and beer enthusiast. I do not claim to be a pro. If you know people that would love to mix up cocktails with me on our show, please make me aware of them because I'd love to invite them to be a guest. So today, we are going to talk about how do you determine when you're ready to leave your current employer? And a lot of times I tell people, actually I tell everyone, my secret is to sit down and write your resignation letter. When you sit down and write your resignation letter, which one person said, you know, Renee, I really appreciated your book. I Hate Mondays. I started going through it, and the first section talks about writing your resignation letter, and I thought, God, that's really kind of cheesy. But he took my advice and he actually went through the effort to write his resignation letter. And he said after that, it reaffirmed that he needed to get the heck out of that company, that he was bored out of his mind, that he is ready for a new challenge. So I highly encourage you, if you're thinking about leaving your current employer, if you sit down and have to write your resignation letter, all of these feelings and emotions are going to come flooding in, and it will determine if you're ready to leave or if you need to stay. And if you decide to stay, you need to speak up to your manager or your leader and ask for what you want. I need a greater challenge. Can you put me on a stretch assignment? Can you put me on a special project? I'm interested in this. How can I broaden my skills here in the company? Or you might need a pay raise. I've been working at this level for all these years. I'd like to be rewarded a little bit more for my performance. Can you help? You're gonna have to have the courage to speak to your leaders to get what you want if the decision is to stay. Now, for the rest of you who, when you write your resignation letter and you're ready to jump ship, that's when the good part starts, right? Job searching, which is so overwhelming for so many people, but I'm an expert at it and I thrive in this. So, after you determine you're ready to leave your company, then you have to determine, what do you want? And I tell people, start writing out, what are your signature strengths? What comes naturally to you? What gets you out of bed in the morning? What about your job would make you jump out of bed on Monday morning? You have to analyze that. For me, the work that I do, I love people. I love communicating. I love analyzing what people do and the different characteristics that are needed for specific jobs. I'm very curious. Those are a lot of my signature strengths, and it aligns really well with the recruiting field. So you need to determine what your strengths are, because I always tell people, fly and soar with your strengths. Yeah, there's things I'm not good at. I'm not very organized. I'm not very detail oriented. Those, you can hire people or delegate those things to others. But you want to soar with what comes easy to you. You know why? Then you're going to love your job and you're going to be really good at it, because those are the things that come naturally to you. So once you've defined exactly what you want in your next role through what you're looking for, then you've got a whole mountain of information. You've got to start researching the companies that have values that align to you. You can simply start that conversation in your own network. Ask people, hey, Joe, what do you love about working at XYZ company? Hey, Betty, why is ABC company so great to work for? And they will start to tell you. There's plenty of information on the web as well. You can Google it. And a lot of companies have videos highlighting their actual employees telling the truth about why they love working for these companies. There are some incredible organizations out there, and they love highlighting their employment brand as to why it's a great place to work, what draws people to them, what their values are, what their leadership principles are. And so you want to sort through all of that and figure out what companies you're going to target for applying to. Then I challenge all of you to start if you're ready to leave your current company, you need to start sharing with the people you trust the most that you're ready for your next challenge, because doors will start to open for you. I had one individual who shared with her neighbor that she was ready for her next challenge. And she said, oh, I know the CEO of ABC company, and he's looking for someone just like you. She connected them, and that person got a new job. She had no idea, right? Wasn't even someone in her network, but she shared with her close friend, and she knew about an opportunity and got them connected. The best way to find a job is through who you know. Because believe it or not, at companies, employee referrals go to the top of the list. Those are the people that have to be looked at first in every organization that I've done business with. At Target Corporation, and this is years ago, we had to reach out to those people and review their information within a specified amount of days. I think at that time it was 10 days. I know Amazon has similar service level agreements where if they have an employee referral, that's first priority, because birds of a feather flock together. And when people can vouch for individuals, they want to take a look at you. And that's even better. You know why? A lot of people don't have all the skills for that job that they're applying for. But if someone knows you, is referring you into there, chances are they'll take a chance on you. Even you're missing a skill set that they're looking for, they'll take a chance on you and they'll invite you in for interviews, and maybe you'll even get the job. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell so you don't miss out on any of our videos. Cheers!